Well, hello, my fellow caramellers. How you doing today? Hey, well, listen to this. I thought I would do a little vlog here today, but I'm not blowing my face off like I usually do. Might make some people mad, but it's more because of the subject, which I don't understand why it would make you mad. I'm not going to talk about model cars, but this discussion was inspired by model cars and inspired by a post that was done on my post for putting up that last video I did of the 57 Chevy over on Model Car Hobby Headquarters. That would have been Dan Rosanello. I hope I said your name right, Dan. He put up a little story about what my model reminded him of, a model he built of a car that really inspired him when he was 10 or 11 or 12. A car that was for sale, and so he built a model of it. It was a pretty cool looking 57 Chevy, and for me, the 57 Chevy, and I think I've covered this before, the 57 Chevy was just a really important car to me. So I kind of have a couple of little stories about really important 57 Chevys. One in particular kind of makes me a little down, and I'll get to that. But the other 57 Chevy that kind of popped in my life was when I was a little kid in the 70s. I had a guy down the street from me. He was a high school kid at the time, believe it or not. He had a bunch of cars. And I would always, being a little kid and playing with my Hot Wheels, I always was intrigued by his cars. And he had this 57 Chevy that during the summer, he would park it outside. He had a long driveway, and he'd park it all the way to the sidewalk and backed in. So when I'd walk down the sidewalk, I'd stand there and I'd look at the little torpedoes on the hood, the rockets there. And they were right to my, that's how tall I was. And I just thought those were so cool, and it just intrigued me about the car and the fins. Oh, it was so beautiful. I remember it was that aqua and white, or whatever they called that seafoam green, I don't know, turquoise, but that 50s color. And that was such a cool looking car, and I just fell in love with it. And I had toys and Hot Wheels and whatever that, I think I even got a model once of a 57 Chevy. This guy also built models, and he showed me his models that he built, and I was, whoa, that's cool. So that car was really important to me. It was kind of the car that, basically birthed my love for the 57 Chevy. And, other times I had other 57 Chevys around, but I remember when I got to the age of being able to maybe buy my own cars and stuff in the 80s, 57 Chevys were just out of touch. There was no way I was ever going to get one. I always dreamed I wanted to have a 57 Chevy. That was my dream car, 57 Chevy. Well, about 5-6 years ago, I had left my job, and I was kind of just tooling around with buying cars and selling them. And I had a fleet of cars. I would always have about 4 or 5 of them. A couple of them I was selling. A few of them I was thinking of keeping. But I was just having fun. I was just enjoying myself. And I had sold my Chevelle, and I was thinking I was wanting to buy a Fox Body Mustang. I never had owned one. But I was also looking for other options. There's other cars. And so as I was looking around and also buying and selling other cars, this 57 Chevy popped up that was on the other side of town. It was a Survivor. It was a 4-door. I didn't care. I'll take any 57 Chevy. It don't matter to me. I'll have a 4-door. They're cheaper. But the price on this one for what it was, a running 57 Chevy, Survivor, original paint, original interior, Arizona car, not rusted up, regularly driven. The price was just, it was unimaginably low. So I contacted the guy, and we had a really good conversation. He was really, really frustrated when I got a hold of him. The car had been up for sale for a while. I saw it. I never really called it because I wouldn't have the money at the time. But I finally called him and talked to him, and I said, I'm real interested in it. He was so far away. It would have been like an hour drive from me. But I wanted to go out and look at the car. Him and I had a really good rapport on the phone, and it was pretty cool. Told me a story that it was his dad's car when his dad would come out of town. Was from up north and come into town and stay for a while. It would be his car to drive around, and his dad just was too old to do that now, so he was selling it. Like I said, the car was all original, but like they had put a engine in it in the 70s or 80s, a more up-to-date 350 So it was just a great running car. And he said he was getting so sick and tired of people calling for what he was asking for. They were still trying to get him to go down even a couple $1,000s more. And they were all, and he knew they were all buying and wanting to buy it to sell it and make a profit. And I wanted it. I wasn't going to sell the thing if I would have gotten it. But I was about $1,000 off from buying this thing. But I had money coming to me. I just didn't know if I was going to be getting it this coming Friday or the following Monday. But when I set up the time to come and see him, I ended up saying, calling the guy up and say, hey, listen, I don't want to come all the way out there. I don't have the money. I don't want to waste your time and anything. I'll wait till I get the money, and if you still have it, by all means, I'm not going to ask you to hold it, because I hate it when people would do that for me. And I hated it when people would say, hey, I'll give you $1,000 now, and then I'll come up with the rest of the money and come back and get it. I would always say no. I wouldn't. You could come to look at a car of mine, you have the cash, you want it, you pay me, and we'll be done. I don't want to do that. Why be a hypocrite? I don't do it that way. But I wish I would have, because he probably would have gone for it. But he was really cool, and he understood. And I said, so I'll call you when my check comes in and it's in my bank and I have the cash, and I'll come out there with the cash. I'm not even going to dicker the price with you. If the car is exactly what you say and what I see in these pictures, I'm going to buy it. And he thought that was pretty cool. Well, I got my check, got the money in the bank, everything, and the car sold. Could you believe it? I thought it wouldn't. I was thinking, he was really not liking dealing with too many people, because they were just jerking him around, and he was, at first I thought maybe he pulled it because he was getting sick and tired of it, because he talked about pulling the ad. But the ad was gone. But I gave him a call, and yeah, he sold it. Yeah, I just missed it by that much. The thing was, I never ever had that close of an opportunity to buy a 57 Chevy, and I don't think I ever will. And I still dream, and I'm always looking, and I find some. Never found one for that price. And there were a few that were selling at that time for the price he was asking that were basket cases. I just don't think this deal will ever come. And now today, even a 4-door 57 Chevy, they're wanting $15,000 for them. A car like that car would be today, it would be $15,000. It's just, I'm never going to have that kind of cash. I don't think I could liquidate enough stuff, and I would liquidate everything I got, including all these kits, to get a 57 Chevy. But I don't think I could drum up enough money to get a 57 Chevy, so it's just not going to happen. But that is my big dream, to have one, and I came that close. The thing that I didn't realize, and I wish I would have pushed myself harder and maybe would have gone against my standards or whatever and been what I hated other people doing. Maybe I should have just asked the guy, hey, if I give you $1,000, will you hold it? Hey, if I, would you hold it for me, or whatever, He probably would have done it, but I didn't want to be that guy. And look what happened. And I kept those pictures that I've showed you. For some reason, something told me that before the ad was gone, I pulled those pictures. Just kept looking at that. For the longest time, I had those pictures on my phone. I hadn't looked at them in a while until Dan told that story and put that picture of his model, and got to thinking about it, and I pulled up these pictures, and I thought, I'm like, I want a 57 Chevy, man. So I just went ahead and wanted to talk about that with you guys. It's just kind of a car guy thing. I bet you, I know we're not talking about models, and a lot of you guys might be hating and won't watch this video, but I don't understand why, because I think if you build model cars, aren't you a car guy? Don't you love real cars? I mean, most model car guys I know all have, hot rods or want one, or that's why they build models, because they're cars that they either can't have, or cars they do have, or they just love cars. I just love cars. I'm all about cars. Yeah, I thought I would talk about that with you guys. If you you can discuss it down there, put it in the comments. Tell me if there was a car you missed out on that still gnaws at you now. This one is just still, we all have the one that got away, and that is my major, the one that got away. And I have a few of them, but that is the one that got away. Man, I tell you, I guarantee, even before today, when I pulled up the pictures and kind of even when I was making the video of my little orange 57 Chevy, I was thinking about that car. And It's kind of like... But you know what? We move on. I love my little Fox body Mustang. I have a ball with that. I got rid of all the other cars that I had at that time. I had to pick one, and I picked to keep the Mustang. It was just, I was having such a good time with it, and there's some things I wanted to do at the time. It was the right car. I wish I would have had the other ones too, because they were all cool. Well, those are for another story. I could tell you about those. If you guys want to do another video like this, a little vlog we're talking about real cars, and you saw, you know, these cars that I had, you want me to tell a story about those, they're all kind of interesting. It was kind of an interesting time in my life where I just wanted to play, you know, car dealer, something. I do that I've been doing that for years, but that was the last time. And actually, probably, you know, now that, I don't know if any of you look at the price of old cars, even garbage, it's just the prices are so stupid now. I won't even go down that road of buying and selling any cool cars, classic cars, and buying, you know, 2001 Toyota Camry just bores me. So I don't play those games no more. But yeah, it was a cool time right before the market went absolutely nuts with old cars that were still out and available. So I got some cool deals and flipped them and had some fun and drove around and went to car hangouts in them. They were fun. So if you want me to, I'll share them with you if you like this video. So if you do like this video, give me a big thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe and share. That does a lot for this channel. And I want to thank you guys for listening in. And we'll be talking about some model cars here shortly. I probably got another video I'm going to get ready to do. I got some stuff that I'm tinkering with. So thanks a bunch for tuning in, listening. I hope you watched the whole video and heard the story. We'll see you later. Go ahead, go build some model cars. Why? Because, you know, they are fun, and you got to glue those fingers together, and you got to keep cutting that styrene. We'll talk to you later. We'll vlog at you later. Later. Now we'll do it. Now we can hear it. If you only knew, I did a whole video. And I didn't have my mic on. That's what happens when you get new equipment. You don't know how to use it. It was stemmed up from... Blah, I don't want to... Yeah, I'm going to start over again. Stemmed up. What the heck is stemmed up? I got a piece of hamburger in my mouth. Ugh.